Hi guys, I'm Leo and welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and in this video I'll be doing my review of WWE Survivor Series 2023. So first up on the card we had the Women's War Games match, which was Team EST, which was Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Shotzi and Charlotte Flair. They defeated Team Damage Control, which was Bayley, Asuka, Kairi Sane and Io Sky. This was a great match. This for me was match of the night. I very much enjoyed it. It was definitely the better of the two War Games matches. It was 100% more extreme. There was more weapons in it. Even a bit of blood from Becky. I don't know if you guys know. It was very hard to notice, but at the time, very early in, she got split open. I think the biggest highlight of that match was Io coming off the top of the cage with a bin on her. It was cool the first time she did it. I don't think it'll ever not be cool and visually awesome. But however, my only gripe with this is that the wrong team won. I would have 100% had Damage Control win. I was very confident with backing them in predictions. For me, it kind of solidified them as a team, especially the aspects of Bayley and Asuka and stuff like that. Like the parts that were very unsure whether they would be aligned or not. And it turns out that nothing really cost them the match. It's just that Team EST managed to kind of get Bayley away from everybody else, targeted her, and she eventually got the pin. I do worry that this is going to turn into Bayley being kicked out of Damage Control by Asuka, Io, and Kairi, which I think is the wrong decision to go for. Bayley was breaking up pins all over the shop at the end of the match. She took a bullet for Kairi Sane. She got a spear from Charlotte and moved Kairi out the way, and then she got put through the table to finish the match off, which was a good way of doing it. And of course, it was kind of a case of this match isn't going to end until someone goes through that damn table. But yeah, Bayley sacrificed herself and proved herself to be loyal to Damage Control, to Asuka and everybody. Therefore, she shouldn't be kicked out of the group, but I feel like that's the way they're going with it. But yeah, they 100% should have won the match. It would have helped them as a team, like as a reconfigured team. They needed the win here for momentum and just to show how much of a threat they could be to the women's division. And unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. So, a bit disappointing with the result. But as a match overall, it was brilliant. Better of the War Games matches and 100% match of the night. Following that, we had Gunther successfully retain the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz. This was a good match. I really didn't have anything against it. It seemed to go by very quickly, but it seemed to be a running theme with the singles matches. All three of them seemed to fly by, which I was surprised about. The Miz, as he would, wrestled his style of match, which I preferred. Normally, people tend to wrestle Gunther's style of match. But for this one, as far as cheating and kind of being a heel goes, they wrestled the Miz's kind of match, which fit perfectly to the story and how Gunther doesn't like the way Miz wrestles and thinks he's not really a wrestler. A bit like how Daniel Bryan used to react to the Miz. And yeah, the Miz, even though he was being a babyface going into the match, he cheated on a few occasions, just failed to get the win. He used the exposed turnbuckle, he hit a low blow, but it didn't put Gunther down, though he did cause a leg injury with Gunther. But in the end, it took away his main three finishing moves with the splash, the power bomb, and he did hit a lariat, but it wasn't as impactful. But he beat him with what I saw as a lion tamer, which I think was a pretty cool way of doing it, as far as referencing the probably greatest, or arguably the greatest, Intercontinental Champion of all time in Chris Jericho. So either way, I thought that this match was really good. It harkened back to the past. Obviously, The Miz got a good showing here and proved that he can hang with Gunther when maybe a few people thought he couldn't. And Gunther showed that he can wrestle any kind of match, but also get the win. As far as Gunther goes, who's going to defeat him? I think it's going to be either Chad Gable or Jey Uso, but no one is very clear for that spot for the Intercontinental Championship quite yet, and someone's going to need some pretty decent build to get the win over Gunther. I think Gunther's got it till at least Royal Rumble maybe, but with the return of a certain somebody, I'm not sure whether his main event push will be pushed back, because I feel like his main event status is going to be there eventually. I just feel like he's going to get pushed back a bit now Punk's back, but that is going to be the case with a lot of people. I'll talk about that later on. But yes, Gunther, fantastic. shows once again how he can win with any move, and that it doesn't especially have to be his finishing moves, which is an awesome way to do it, and he continues to be Intercontinental. Following that, we had Santos Escobar defeat Dragon Lee. This was a decent match. I have no complaints about it. It, again, went very quickly by. Like, I said, I don't know, it's hard to say a lot when the match goes really quickly, but yeah, Escobar got a majority of offense in. Like, Dragon Lee selling, me and my brother found watching it, was really weird. It like looked like he just passed out or something as he was taking offense, and that was kind of the case for half of the match. Like, Escobar was all over him, and when he did get some of the offense in, it was really good. And Dragon Lee could be one of the better luchadors in WWE if booked correctly, but they need to get him away from this whole the next Rey Mysterio thing, because there is not going to be another Rey Mysterio. They just need cool luchadors, like any company probably does. But as I said, it was a good showing for both here. I think like Survivor Series is a good stage to have these two on. The win for Santos kind of makes it more legitimate as a heel, and he didn't really cheat to win either, which was good. You know, he's a heel that wins clean, which is something we definitely don't see a lot of. Roman Reigns. But yeah, Santos Escobar's finisher, doing the Canadian Destroyer into the Phantom Driver, was very cool, and I hope he uses that all the time. Though I couldn't tell you what his finisher was before then, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't that because I would have remembered. But it's a cool, really cool way to finish a match off. And yes, Santos Escobar starts his heel run with a win, and hopefully this starts a push up the card for him, maybe towards the United States Championship. Next up, we had Rhea Ripley successfully defending the Women's World Championship against Zoe Stark. This was a good match as well. Zoe Stark got a really good showing here, and Rhea continued to win in dominant fashion without making her opponents look very weak, which is something that is very integral in Rhea's reign, is the fact that other people can come back for second shots apart from Natalya. Natalya will never get another shot, especially after the United Champion squash. But yeah, Rhea's winning dominantly without making people look weak, which is a perfect way to have a championship reign that'll go on for a while and kind of have her kind of stay on top of the women's division. Like, as far as next challengers go, I can't see anyone apart from maybe Becky Lynch, but I think that'll be at WrestleMania. And then maybe a returning Liv Morgan or a Shayna Baszler. But even then, it's like, if you put Shayna and Rhea on for the Rumble and then put Liv... I mean, I say Liv on at a Chamber, but I can imagine Rhea's going to defend the title in the Chamber. Probably against Shayna, Liv, Jax, Raquel Rodriguez and Zoe Stark, maybe. But yeah, it's just, as I said, it's making her look dominant without making people look weak, which she does perfectly. And yeah, just some cool moments from the match. He kind of flipped her up into a suplex, which I thought was really cool. And Zoe Stark, like, her moveset is really good. Like, I feel like it's very underrated and it isn't talked about enough. The splash that she does off the ropes, where she kind of lands backwards and then flips forward, is pretty cool. And her finisher, the 360, is awesome. I know it's like a GTS, and I'm worried that she may have to change it because of a certain somebody coming back. But yeah, it's just a really cool finisher, and I hope that she doesn't have to lose it because of Mr. Punk. But you know, we know what Pepsi feels like, so yeah, I don't know. But it's like Rhea just continues to show why she is a level above most people in the women, if not all the women in the Raw's women's division. And as far as dethroning her, I have absolutely no idea other than Becky, and I don't feel like Becky needs it. So why not have Rhea go for a long title run? I know we've just had Bianca Belair's got a long title run, Gunther has as well, and obviously Roman Reigns, but I can't see anyone in this division taking the title from her, and we haven't seen Jade Cargill in weeks, and it's been suggested that she hasn't been seen in weeks because she can't wrestle really that good, which is surprising because we saw her so much in AEW. But I said the only person I can really see taking the title off her, if I had to, was Jade Cargill, and hope that she is good enough to be given that spot, because the fact they've taken her off TV when she's been appearing every week is very worrying. But as I said, Rhea continues to be our Women's World Champion, and I'm very much for it as a fan of the And finally, in the main event, we had Team Babyface, which was Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, taking on Team Judgment Day, which was Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough and Drew McIntyre. This as a whole was pretty rubbish, I'm not going to lie. I didn't enjoy the men's War Games match at all. There was barely any weapons used, and it just, everything I expected to happen, or any kind of drama, or drama's not the way to put it, but any jeopardy of people turning or anything like that, just didn't happen. Like, Randy Orton teased RKO and Jey Uso, and that was about it. And like, I was expecting, you know, a lot more from Drew McIntyre. Like, McIntyre was barely in the match, in my opinion. And Jey Uso got the better of him again. Like, the final sequence was Jey Uso super kicking him and then giving him a splash. And that's it, we didn't see him for the rest of the match. Damian Priest took the pin, which was the worst decision. You know, you want this guy to be world champion, you're going to be Money in the Bank, so he's guaranteed almost to be world champion. And he's getting pinned in every match they are as a group. And it's a terrible decision to go by. And I know some people have this theory of like, oh, Mr. Money in the Bank will lose loads consecutively, and then he'll cash in and it'll be awesome. I think a similar thing happened with Dolph Ziggler, where he lost a lot and then cashed in and it was fantastic. But this isn't working that way, and people aren't taking the Judgment Day seriously because they keep losing. Every time I mention the Judgment Day, my brother every time mentions how much they lose. And apart from individually and as obviously Balor and Priest as a team, they're doing really well. Dominic's a champion, Rhea's a champion, as I've just said, Priest and Balor are champions. But when they are as a collective, whether it's 6-man, 8-man, whatever, they come up short every time, and it's just, they're becoming less and less of a threat the more they do this. If they want Judgment Day to control Raw, well, I mean, they pretty much do control Raw at this point, they've got to start winning matches as a group, because there's no point in having Rhea go on this dominant run on her own and have everyone around her lose. Like I said when JD joined, it was like, this is good, he has to stop being a punching bag though, he has to start winning matches for him. Dominic Mysterio has to stop looking weak. Like, yeah, there's the point in the match where he was surrounded by the babyface team and then got beaten up. It was funny, there was a comedy element to it, but that's fine if Judgment Day go on to win the match, but they didn't, and it just feels like they're wasting time with the Judgment Day, because they're all really good, and it's a good idea, and everything for it should work, but the booking is awful for them, and it does genuinely annoy me, because I genuinely love the Judgment Day, and it just annoys me that they lose whenever they're a group. And again, it's like, we don't know what they can do. Obviously the Rumble's coming up, Priest's time as Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, is coming up. You know, Money in the Bank isn't that far away now. I think we're only maybe less than 5 pay-per-views away from Money in the Bank, which is crazy. You know, there's only 3 more pay-per-views till WrestleMania. Well, there's technically 2 if you count. There's 3 if you count WrestleMania itself. And there's a lot to do between now and then as far as the Judgment Day go, and Damian Priest cashing in Money in the Bank. And I feel like when he does eventually cash in Money in the Bank, it's going to fall very flat, and his championship reign is going to be very mid. And I really don't want that for him, because he's fully deserving of it. He could be a great champion, but the booking has been completely against him, and it's a massive shame in my opinion. But anyway, now my rant about the Judgment Day is over. The match itself was mid, to be fair. Like, there were some great moments. The RKO on JD McDonough from the top, or from almost the top of the cage, was a great visual, awesome way to come back. Randy Orton just being back is fantastic to see. I'm glad that he's back. I popped when the iconic music hit of Voices, not the new one though, which was interesting, but when Voices hit, I popped. It was fantastic. And yeah, it was a great moment for Randy Orton. I'm glad he's back. What's he going to do on the main roster? I don't know. You know, I was planning on him feuding with Jay, but then he didn't RKO Jay, so I don't know. I don't know what he's doing next, but either way, it's going to be good, and everyone's going to be glad he's back. But yeah, a lot of this was just very negative. Like, the match wasn't very good. The outcomes of the match weren't very good. Drew McIntyre barely got a look in when he should have been an absolute killer in this match. When he came into the match and was going to go for Jey Uso, I thought, that's it. Jey Uso may as well start digging a grave for him. And it wasn't the case at all. And it was just massively disappointing for what this match could have been. And then we got to what happened after the match. The return of CM Punk. Now, I was on the bandwagon of he is not showing up. I said at the end of my predictions that he wasn't showing up. I popped like fuck when CM Punk came out. I was one of the people coming in that didn't want him back, but now he's here, you may as well get on board. And I've always been a huge fan of CM Punk, and the stuff in AEW with him fighting in the back doesn't matter now, because everything in WWE, anything outside of WWE doesn't matter inside WWE. Therefore, you know, I am happy that he's back, just for the nostalgia of it. You know, the 12, 13, 14-year-old in me is going absolutely crazy when Punk came out. And I said it's going to be good for business, and we all know it is. It's just that backstage politicking and stuff like that we can leave in AEW. Just have him have fun in WWE. Like, he could have some absolutely fantastic matches with Rollins, Reigns, Styles, Cena again maybe. Like, all these people. Just let him have fun, and let's not be a dick about stuff. That's all I want from Punk, really. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. You know, it's all over my social media with Punk coming back. And yeah, and when he did came back, CM Punk, not CM Punk, oh man, I knew I was going to mess that bit up. So when he came back, Seth Rollins activated Instant Kill and wanted to end him immediately. Is it a work or is it a shoot? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, part of me feels like it's a shoot, part of me feels like it's a work. Either way, it's going to be very enjoyable to watch Raw tomorrow night for once, or at least a segment or two. And yeah, I'm very interested to see where this Punk and Rollins thing goes. McIntyre dropped off audience immediately because of it, which I don't really understand why. I don't think McIntyre had much interactions with Punk, like, when he was around anyway. But either way, I don't know. But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I look forward to finding out what happens next with him. We know that CM Punk isn't the devil in AEW, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, we've got to enjoy it while it's here, because he could be gone within 6 months to a year if he starts being a dick again. So I'm going to enjoy it. I think it's going to be great. I'm going to do a separate video kind of on what I think is going to happen with Punk, like properly going in depth and rambling on about it like I did with Britt Baker and the Devil and stuff like that. I'll do that kind of video for it. So that'll be in the next couple of days as well. I'll kind of join the bandwagon of YouTubers talking about Punk. This is just kind of a little bit to finish off the video-ish. But yeah, so CM Punk's back. I can't believe it. I don't know how to feel about it. But you just got to enjoy it, man. Just enjoy it, man. Because you never know when he's going to get fired. So those are my thoughts and opinions on WWE Survivor Series 2023. I enjoyed the show for the most part. The matches flew by that were singles. The War Games matches, the women's one was great. The men's one was mid. But yeah, do put in the comments down below what you thought of the show, how you feel about Punk being back, what matches you look forward to him having in WWE now he's back. And obviously this is the last pay-per-view of the year as far, well, premium live event of the year as far as I know, which means my final score for predictions is on the screen. I got 53 out of 76 matches that I predicted overall. It's not every match on the pay-per-view because I didn't know certain stuff were happening. For example, Miz having 2 matches at WrestleMania, I didn't predict because I didn't know they were going to happen. So the matches that I predicted in prediction videos, I got 53 out of 76, which is pretty good in my opinion. I feel like that's not bad. It's more than half, which is what I always see as a good thing. If it's more than half, it's good. So yeah, I ask you, I'll do like a year review, or like, I don't know if it's a year review, but like I'll do a video probably in early January, kind of what my matches of the year were, super wrestlers of the year, and what my scores were for WWE and AEW, and I compared. But as I said, if you enjoyed the video, do like, subscribe, share, comment, all the good stuff. You know what it is. You know the cliche YouTube stuff. Follow the Instagram, that's on the screen, and I'll put the tag in the comments in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later on.